Hi, I'm Tina Ann Middleton, author of the Forceville series. I'd like to welcome you today to the writing journey, where we inspire and encourage each other in the craft of writing. Today, I'll be talking about another one of my favorite authors, Dan Walsh. We'll be right back. Now, I have quite a few favorite authors, and what can I say? I read a lot. But one of those favorites is Dan Walsh. He's one that really stands out. Now, let me tell you a little bit about this writer. I started to say pastor, and there's a good reason for that. That's because he served as a pastor for 25 years. He retired from the pastoral ministry after 3 of his books were published by major publishing houses. He is married, has 2 grown children, and 4 grandchildren. I imagine his family keeps him pretty busy. He's also a versatile writer. He writes suspense books. I think I've read all of them. I might have missed some. I'll have to let you know on that one. But he's written the Jack Turner suspense series, which you start that and it has twists you don't expect. And then a fairly new series is the Joe Boyd suspense series, which picks up from where the Jack Turner series dropped off after the last book. But he also writes inspirational fiction. And I've read many of the stories in that. One of them is the Restoration series. And in fact, one of the books in the Restoration series, Reunion, is being made into a movie. I can't wait to see that one. But I have to tell you, I always like the books better. My husband probably dreads me watching a movie that was based on a book, because I will sit there and I will say, that's not in the book. But hopefully they'll stay close to the book on this one. He's got what's it called? The Homefront series, which is to me, very inspirational. It's set during World War II. I'm not going to tell you any more. I don't want to spoil it. It's set during World War II. Very heartwarming, both books. But it's not just feel good. There's some action in there. There is his Forever Home series. Now, this one I especially liked because it's about dogs. So yeah, it's one of my favorite series. He is an award-winning and best-selling author. Let me tell you a little bit about that. 4 of his novels have been finalists for RT Review's Inspirational Novel of the Year. He has won both the Carroll Award, which is part of the American Christian Fiction Writers, and the Selah Awards. Over 1 million copies, either in print or downloaded, of his books. Over 1 million. Wow. It's easy to see why. I'm going to tell you what I like about his books, and this is probably what those million other readers have enjoyed as well. One of them is his stories are driven by the characters. That might sound like fancy writer talk, so I'll just tell it to you like I like it. The characters are what just really pull you into the story. You feel like you know these characters, whether it's a little boy missing his dad or his grumpy old grandfather that I wanted to just reach through the pages of the book and pinch the man's head off. You can't do that, but you get involved with the characters. They really drive the story. And Dan Walsh's books, again, they're not romances per se, but there is romance in the books. In the Homefront series, you'll see some romance. And the Forever Home series, you'll see romance. There's definitely romance in the Jack Turner series. So you can also get that, and you may also find yourself, as you relate to the characters, wanting to shake somebody, say, wake up, don't you see this other person is just right for you? Yeah, I really get into characters in the books, so, but his are so easy to get into, and to feel like these are real people. You could almost picture them just sitting there on the couch next to you. The story flows very naturally from scene to scene and chapter to chapter. This is something I'm having to work on as a reader. I mean, not as a reader, I have no problem with it as a reader. I have to work on it as a writer, getting mine to flow and not be choppy. Well, let me tell you something, Dan Walsh doesn't have that problem. His flows. This is another one of those, I'm reading the book and I'm like, okay, when I finish this chapter, I have to get up and go do this thing. And 3 chapters later, I'm still trying to make myself get up and go do this thing. Because it just keeps going and you don't want to interrupt the flow. I'll try that next time I'm needing to get up and do something. I'll say, as soon as the flow stops, I'll get up. His stories, like I said, the characters makes you feel like they're sitting right next to you on the couch. The stories just really grabbed hold of me. Yeah, I know, I use that phrase a lot. That's because these stories grab hold of me. And the Forever Home series, when I was reading that, all 4 books, I wanted to run right out and go get a dog, at least one. I held off because we're not where we can really take care of a dog right now, and we want to be fair to the dog. That's something else brought up in the books, If you're going to own a dog, make sure you can take care of it, because it's not fair to the dog or the puppy if you get it and you leave it alone all day, or you don't train it, or you don't spay or neuter it, and you don't take care of it. And many of the characters in his stories, the puppy dogs, these kinds of things happen. So a little blurb there for taking care of your dog. Some of you could probably tell me a few things about taking care of a dog. Another thing, I'm going to get off that rabbit trail now and come back to why I like Dan Walsh's books. His Christian faith shines through in the story. He's not preachy. He's not beating you over the head with a Bible. But it just shines in the characters. The ones who are believers, it's just a natural part of who they are. And it comes through. And if one of the believers becomes a believer, if one of the characters becomes a believer in there, how it happens is natural. Of course, as we know, those that have become believers, it's not natural, it's supernatural. But what I mean is not preachy, it's not stilted. It just flows. It's expected. When I read his books, I feel like I'm in the story. And I feel like I could go up the stairs to that house he's describing. Or I could walk down the street and see that puppy dog sitting on the side of the road. And it's just real easy to get into the story. And that's part of what I want to close with, is Dan Walsh's stories are very easy to get caught up in. That's because they're well written, they're engaging. Reading his books, it inspires me not only to do, like I said about the puppy dog, it inspires me in my faith walk. You might find that surprising. A fiction book? Well, yeah, because he's still presenting biblical principles. So it encourages me in my faith walk. It encourages me in my writing, because I want to write more like these favorite authors of mine, like Dan Walsh, and I want to keep writing. Will you join me? You have a great week.